Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018. It's career mode, episode number 31. I've had a little bit of change in Vincent Van Hemelen, who we were just talking about in the last episode, hoping that he would improve. And it's that very next day, we're still in the Tour of Utah, and he just leveled up. So average is now a 72. He's turned into a Barrador by profile, so it's not like this is a great rider for us in any way. But another rider at 72 has had a positive impact on the team. Again, looking at the transfers, looking at the team for next year with Verveke and Conchi, Keegan Swerble, also in the race we're in right now, Tour of Utah. With these guys coming to the team, I'm now looking at 5 72s, a few 71s, a couple 70s, and then our last remaining originals from the team, Ian Garrison, Brecht Wachtendorf, and George Simpson. Those final three guys from that original group that were all 66 or below when we first started out. And then these are all replacements since then. So I'll have 4 American riders. I'm going to have 3 Dutch riders, 3 Belgian riders, which all are part of team objectives. In addition, I'll have 2 Italian and 1 French rider. So a very international flavor to the team. But again, our team now looking slightly better as we prepare for next season. Still 2.5 stars on the profile, but you can see just how far better we are than we are currently this season, heading into next year. Last we had checked, we were 34th in the projections. Now the projections are beginning to change a little bit. Quick Step, for one thing, looking at 5 stars. We'll get to that in a moment. You can see just how quickly it drops down to 3.5 stars. Just a handful of teams there that are on the cusp of World Tour status or Continental Pro status. Cofidis right now looking like they're on their way up. Wanty Group Gobert just missing out. And then on their way down, Team Dimension Data well down the list right now. But we're only a week into the signing period. 9 days, technically. But here's the thing. With that movement, Van Hemelen brings us from 34th up to 32nd for now. And some of these teams have done initial signings at this point. What is also noticeable about this is that we are just a couple spots away from a 3-star ranking. So we've got to be awfully close to 3 stars by now, where we just hit 2.5 stars last time. So we're very much at the high end. However, there's still plenty of time for these teams to sign. But we've got a little more clearance now to the remaining at Continental level, which I'm still nervous about, but we are definitely getting closer to safety. Now here's the news so far on the signing period. Nairo Quintana resigns. Alaphilippe resigns. Tony Martin resigns. Van Aert. Kittel. Gaviria. So still with Quick Step. There's a big one. Peter Sagan going to Quick Step Floors. That's what puts them up to 5 stars in my opinion. BMC. Mats Peterson. Quick Step also recruiting Van Avermaet. So they are so dangerous in those stage winning or classics winning riders that they could absolutely crush it. So that's the news so far on that front. But for us, that Van Hemelen ratings increase is absolutely huge for us. And I could breathe a little bit easier here, but I'm still nervous that we're not quite there yet. Stage 4 and 5 are both sprint stages, so I'll be skipping straight to the end of the stages so that we can get straight into those results. Back a little earlier than expected for a couple of reasons. One, the pace has been quite high from the very start. We've got a group off the back because of a crash, but they're having a hard time catching up because of the pace. The group up front is 7 riders. Their lead is just a minute and a half. You can see just how tired we are at this point with 30K left to go. And also, we have a snow-rain mix here as the temperature is quite low. So these are conditions that can very much affect a number of riders. Also of note, my race day condition looking so much better today. You can see we've got only a few negatives, and they're all just -1s. The others are all zeros. So we don't have any positives, but we're not as badly damaged as we have been in a number of other stages. 28K left to go here. We've got a little bit of a climb right here. You can see it's nothing serious, just 3-4 degrees. And we're down to 22K now. Just 6 riders left off the front. 1 minute ahead. Peloton just 80 riders. One by one, people dropping off the back. 18K.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
I think it's about time I get formed up. My 84s are not enough. We'll get over the top of this climb here in a moment. That's a good spot. Alright, so 99s. Now, Van Giedeken's finally in a decent enough spot to actually be part of the sprint. He might even go above Veldeman. Yeah. Bull fastest, but Van Giedeken finally able to be part of the sprint. I've had him near the front of the train this whole time. Simpson needs to be off the back as he's my guy left in competition for the overall. Not that I expect him to do anything, but we'll have him up. So I'm basically down 2 guys as Simpson's just following Bull towards the finish. Bull's the sprinter. Brown is out of energy. Easter doesn't have much left, so we're going to go a little bit longer over the top. We do have 2 climbs to go here, or uphill sections anyway, not climbs, but we're over this one.
The finish line is getting close. The riders have just passed the 15 kilometers road sign.
With just 5 guys left, I would like to save them for a little bit. So we're going to wait until we get right about to the top this time, and then Easter will move to the front. Okay. As soon as we turn left here, we'll start going uphill. Again, it's not a big uphill, but 3.5 degrees has an impact. You can see some of the riders are really starting to push towards the front. Easter, we want to push towards the front, but not push hard. Okay, coming up on the top at this next intersection. Kind of leveling off right now. There we go. Use his gel with whatever he's got left. Garrison, and get him ready here soon. Okay, now we can speed it up. 8K. Okay, it's Garrison's turn. Easter, not bad, not bad. We've got one little climb left to go, so let's push maybe a 97. So I don't have a big lead-out group here.
The little promenade is over. The group has been overhauled.
There we go. Breakaway group has been reeled in. Veldeman, we're going to get him ready. It's weird that Veldeman's going this early, but it is what it is. He's going to get us over the top here in a moment. 4K to go. Just these few guys. Go 98. Van Giedeken. 2K to go. This is my lead out guy, so this is not good. Not good. There we go.
The riders are setting themselves up.
Bull up there, top 3. He gets 3rd, just barely missing out on Phillipson and Clark. Those guys are much better sprinters. That's a good finish for Bull. Again, we get a top 3, but no stage win. It's going to be really hard to come by. But Van Giedeken, Simpson, Veldeman all up there, Garrison up there. These guys are probably all going to be on the same time. Just a bit of a gap that time. At the very least, there's a gap now. 17K left to go in this one. It is a sprint stage, however, it is the type of stage that has some challenges to it. Go ahead and pause this. Bull, nice +2. Brown has a +3. Simpson a +1. So we're looking a little better there, though. But Veldman is absolutely horrible again today. Van Ginneken back to not being very strong. So neither one of them looking good as lead-out men today. But somebody's got to do it. So it's got to be Van Ginneken. And then we're actually going to go for Easter. Because Veldman just looks terrible right now. So Brown's going to be that lead-out guy, and Simpson is going to follow up in the back again as he is protecting his 13th place overall, 28 seconds off the pace. 16K to go, flat from here. Breakaway group of 10 is still 2 minutes away. Peloton's down to 82 riders because of the difficulty of the climbs. I had a couple guys that just made it, but because of the downhill section, we recovered enough to stay in the group and get back more or less to an okay position, which also is a sign of why the breakaway group is still 2 minutes away, because, well, we're going weak enough that guys like Jonathan Brown, who were completely out of energy, somehow are still in the peloton. Okay, Garrison ready, 12K to go. A little weak on riders for that chase as well.
Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up. 10 kilometers remaining.
Minute and a half. Still got a chance here. Under 10K, Garrison leading the way at the moment. Minute 22. So we got to go 99s here. Otherwise, there's no point chasing because there's not going to be anything to sprint for.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic pace.
Haldeman should be able to give us decent pace. 6K.
5 kilometers remaining.
Under a minute, and the peloton is shrinking. Easter's not going to last. Easter's not going to last. Easter didn't have anything left. Van Ginneken and Bull, I'm down to it, and it's 3K to go. Simpson's going to have to be the lead-out guy now.
Wow, that's one attack that's going to leave a good few in its way.
Oh, it didn't change. It didn't change the order. Shoot. I was looking Van Ginneken. Oh, Veldeman's still hanging up there. Grab onto the back if you can. $2K to go, 30 seconds. I'm not sure these guys are going to get caught.
Final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
There we go. Sprinting a little early, trying to get something up there. We're going to overtake 1 or 2 guys, and that's it. Breakaway group takes the win. Bull's already out of energy early. Thomas Gibbons. Noah Granigan, third, our former teammate from the breakaway group. Dan McClay wins the sprint from the regular field. Phillipson takes second. Bull was technically fourth as the breakaway rider was still in between us. That last breakaway rider that was overtaken before the line, so we just about catch up to the breakaway group, but not enough. So breakaway wins the day, taking away that opportunity to get the elusive sprint win. And again, yes, I didn't win the sprint, but things would have been different if we weren't chasing the breakaway group through the end, tried to get there because we ran out of energy early. Still looks like we weren't strong enough to win. McClay and Phillipson are much too strong.
This is the last third of the race. The team leaders have their minds fixed on today's goal.
Alright, this is the Queen's Stage. Two very big climbs coming up on the first of those two now. Last third of the day, which means the pace is going to be a lot hotter, and it's going to absolutely obliterate most of the field. We have a large breakaway group today, not a huge one, but a fairly big one, 16 riders. The lead has yo-yoed a bit. It got out to almost 7 minutes. It got back to 3. Right now it's at 4, I think, on this climb. That lead is just going to disappear. There could be a few riders left off the front by the end, but that would be it. And it would be a very small lead.
The pack can't get strung out too far, or it's going to start breaking up.
Race day condition, Jonathan Brown, best climber on a +3. However, he's a hills guy, not a mountain guy. So Simpson, our top guy overall, 11th right now. Zeros. My other protected riders. Bull is 18th overall, only a 60 as a climber, so he's probably not going to hang in there today. Same with Veldeman, especially with both of them being on -2s. So as a team, I'm kind of looking at really all my eggs are essentially in one basket with Simpson, as he's the only one who's okay at climbing mountains. It's only 11.8K, but we're gaining 3,000 meters in that time at near 7%. This section a little less steep of the 3 sections of climbing.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Nice long downhill to recover on after. But that's if anybody's left in the group. Peloton already beginning to shrink. 90, now 70 riders. Oh. Gap closed for the moment. There we go. Alright, Van Ginniken is about done. I see him start to drop. He's up front for now with Simpson, which means I need to get Easter. Oh gosh, Easter's way back here.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Pick it up, guys. Easter. You too. Pick it up. Okay, Van Ginniken was the one that was with. So Simpson's already by himself. Peloton hasn't split, but the other guys all just sliding backwards because none of them are strong enough. Even those that are protected riders are too weak. And there we go. Field is splitting. Here's Bull and Garrison. Put them both on auto. Let them do their own thing. Van Ginniken off the back. Let him do his thing. And these 3 riders still technically in the group. Brown's about to get dropped from that. He's right on the edge. Easter's on the edge. Feldman, the only one who's hanging in a little bit, and now it's split again. So put them all on their own, and we go to Simpson, our last guy. We're near the top of the second portion. Get a little respite, and then we're going right back up again for the final chunk here. So right now we're in this downhill, the bottom being right there. So we'll hit that, and away we go yet again. 18 riders left here in the peloton. So Simpson hanging on well. Drop him down to an 80 though, so he can use less energy and just try to hang on to the group. Nathan Brown, Sean Bennett, Van Hooding, the same guys. We're starting to catch the breakaway group. There's Alex Howes, Nick Roche, Simon Clark, Rigoberto Uran, the favorite, TJ Van Garderen, second favorite. There's Fabio Farin. And there's Jacob Wraith, our former teammate. He's been in pretty much every breakaway. And, oh, Simpson's done. Simpson's done. Sliding towards the back of the group. 19 riders, but again, some of those are from the breakaway group. And we're almost to the top. Oh, there's the top. Come on, Simpson. Come on, Simpson. Hang on, buddy.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
He's out the back for now. He's on his own, but he might catch him.
Look out!
It's a long descent. And there's Wraith. Can we work with Wraith to get back up there? I'm going to recover for a little bit and then try to attack. I might as well try to get back into the group. I mean, they're right there.
The riders will take full advantage of the incline to get some oxygen into their lungs, but they must remember to keep their shape.
Okay, we're going to push for a little bit. Try to close that gap. Well, it's easy going right now. Relatively straight and downhill. Peloton less than a minute ahead. 50 seconds. 45. Lots of downhill left. Come on, almost there. Almost there. 35 seconds. 30 seconds. 28.
What's going on?
And there's the group. There's the group. Okay.
Certainly some sort of incident.
Little uphill though. And we're already over the top. Alright, hey, we made it back into the group. Now can we recover? There's enough of a descent. Hopefully we will. Simpson's still with the group. Or back with the group anyway. Remnants of the breakaway. Kononenko, Kirby, Chance, Hohen, 4 guys off the front. 2 minutes here. They should be caught. Should be on that final climb. Not sure they will. I definitely am not strong enough to beat these guys out. But for 11th overall, to be in the middle of this group, we very well still could hang on to some sort of top 10 finish. Let's get water for Simpson here before the end. For that final climb. Recovery going nicely. Almost to the bottom though and not fully recovered. That's kind of the downside to what we had to do to get back onto the back of the group. Speed things up to the bottom here. I don't like that I'm this far back actually. I want to try to get you to the front of the group here, Simpson. There we go. Now you can relax. Near the front of the group. Alright, we're not even officially on the climb yet. Steep little uphill. Downhill, actually into the city, and then we'll probably turn right back out of the city. And up we go.
15 kilometers remaining.
First a little gradual. Not yet officially beginning the climb, and yes, you can see I'm already quite fatigued. Pace is quite high right now. 1 rider out the back, 2 riders out the back, chasing 3 now, and they're only 30 seconds ahead. Our pace is quite high.
Only 10 kilometers left.
10K banner, those 3 riders nearly caught. 17 left in the group. And I'm almost done, almost done. Ah, come on. There we go. I'm going to get dropped here. 1 rider left off the front.
Attack at the front. He could go all the way.
Okay. Just get there, Simpson. Push with whatever you've got. Just not much. Off goes the group at the front. It's all split up. I am out racing some of these guys. Just climb for whatever you got. 4.5 minutes off the front already. 5 minutes off the front. Rosskopf has caught us. That's who we rode with before. Rigoberto Uran for the win. TJ Van Gardner and Nick Roche. Keegan Swerble, my future teammate, takes 4th. Simon Clark. Fabio Fellin in 7th. Huffman. Brambilla is 9th. Simpson takes 18th. That should keep him up in the standings relatively high. Might drop a few spots. I think there might be a few guys that were left over from the breakaway that could be in amongst the top 20. Veldeman, Easter, and Bull come in 32nd, 33rd, and 34th, riding in together. Garrison 40th. Brown 52nd. Van Ginneken still out there. There he is, coming across the line now. We'll check the overall standings here. With one stage remaining here in the Tour of Utah. This is my longest race remaining of the year. Then I have next is the Colorado Classic. It's a 4-stage race now. It used to be a 7-stage race. Last couple of years it's been shortened. And then after that I have a handful of classics, including a couple time trials in those classics to finish the season. So we've only got, I don't know, just over 10 stages left on the year. There's Uran with the win, and Gardner in second in the U.S. national team national champion jersey. .32 seconds was the gap there. It was another half minute to Nick Roche. And Swerble, 2:46, yeah, well down, but still up there among the big boys. And that is our rider next season. You can see he's at 73 in the mountains. Much better than anything I've got. Our only decent climber at all is Simpson. Simpson's a 68, so he's 5 better. Our other guy, no sign of him up there. I do come in 18th. I lost 9 minutes on that last climb. That's a huge amount of time lost. Jacob Wraith up in 27th, but again, that's because he was in the breakaway group. There's Conchi. Conchi did his work early on. He's a 73 in both mountains and hills, and a good time trialist. He's going to be a big rider for us next season. I'm sure whatever team task he had is what put him off so far. Overall, Simpson drops to 15th. Still respectable. Vincenzo Nibali going to Lotto Sudal. Miguel Angel Lopez going to Movie Star. Isn't he already? Maybe he's going back to. And Stefan Kung staying put. Coming back much sooner than expected on this one, but I'm going to cut away again before the end of this one. Tour of Utah, final stage. You can see we end with an alls category huge climb, though it actually doesn't look quite as bad as the last stage was. Plus you get that downhill to recover for the finish, so not quite as intense as the last one. However, half the field is in the breakaway group, and it's already got 5 minutes. I got Garrison in at the last moment, recognizing what was happening. Guaranteed the winner is going to come from this breakaway group. So I've got Garrison in it. It's going to absolutely demolish the any chance that this group has. But the race contenders are here. Everybody else is off racing for that, so I had to do something. And here we go. We'll go ×2 for now. Garrison. These guys have not reached it just yet. Steepest is the first half. Now the main group's on the climb. Garrison nicely near the front right now.
Very tough portion with percentages above 10%. The pack is reducing the advantage with every turn of the pedal. The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
But at just a 63 with the race day condition bonus, Garrison's going to struggle to stay with the group. You can see he's already largely out of energy. Group's shrinking and he's hanging on. Let's put him at an 80, just try to hang on as long as he can. Meanwhile, my guys are actually doing relatively well near the front. Van Ginneken is done. He's furthest back. He's been dropped. Veldeman. Veldeman was trying to make it through, but couldn't. Easter and Brown have both been dropped. These guys all on auto. Van Ginniken on auto.
Only 15 kilometers left.
Bull.
This climb features some dreadful
About to get dropped. Now he's dropped. 23 riders left in the main group, and Simpson is out of energy. He's going to get dropped here in a second, and he has been. And he's not going to get back onto that. Garrison, meanwhile, is been dropped, but has recovered some. Could be in a position to help Simpson a little bit when he comes up on him. He's a minute and a half behind. Simpson's starting to recover some. It's with Clark, Wynn, Gherkins. Clark is wearing the white jersey. There's a bunch of the breakaway group. Yeah, those guys were all in the breakaway. That main group, though, had about 18 riders left when we left it behind, which means we're going to drop down the standings a little bit further. Looks like we're going to make contact with this group. Garrison's probably in that group. Just turned the corner. Yes, he is.
It's an attack.
Coming up on 10K to the finish, 1K from the summit. This is the main group of 12 now. It's so hard to tell where everyone is as we go over the top. For Garrison, here is Simpson coming up on... Oh, I thought he was going to make contact with that group. No? Alright, he goes over the top. He's well behind, so it's actually Garrison with our best chance on the stage. There's that little secondary climb.
Watch out. A team leader is falling behind.
Handful of riders on the front. Handful following them. Garrison's group just split off, actually.
So it's noses downhill, which will allow the riders to catch their breath. This win is...
Whoa, Conchi! Conchi just won. So my future guy has won. And he was well ahead. Gavin Mannion, probably from the breakaway group, I would imagine. Garrison. Ooh, it's uphill finish. It's an uphill finish. Simpson on his own. Almost remaking contact here with this group. 1.7.
We're waiting for the back markers who appear
Just
to
go
be fairly
95
numerous
push.
in this difficult race.
There's Garrison going over the line. Here comes Simpson climbing his way up. Sprint, 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 sprint. Get up there. Bull. Same. Bull's not that much further back. Veldeman. 98. 99. Sprint, sprint, sprint. Okay, so Garrison takes 23rd on the stage. Simpson just 42nd place, but so much of that was breakaway riders that were still left out in front. Remember, literally half the field was 5 minutes ahead. So this is going to literally be all over the place. Let's go ahead and get to those results to see what happened. Good news for me is future team member Nicola Conchi has won the stage. I can guarantee you he was in the breakaway group. Uran takes 4th on the stage, but was well behind. So that's great for Conchi. And yes, you can see here, that is Conchi, number 23, because he rides for Trek now. And you can see this is the early breakaway forming. So Conchi was in the break. He won from the break, but you can see he is all alone at the finish. So a minute and a half ahead. Then here comes the big group of chasers with Uran at the front. Nick Roche was there. Van Garderen was there. Brambilla. So plenty of big names. There's Swerble, our other future guy. Those are our two top guys for next season coming in. We're going to be looking to for racing and winning something other than just sprints all the time. There's Kononenko, favorite guy that we wanted to sign but couldn't get. So Garrison, 23rd at the 5-minute group. And that was a group he caught up to on the sprint to the end. And there's Simpson, 7:08 down. So here's the general overall. Uran hangs on to win. Van Garderen hangs on for second. And then a big gap, 3 minutes to Feline. There's Swerble taking fourth. So really good job for him. Conchi jumps to 15th with the win, which is where Simpson was. He's dropped down to 19th, 12 minutes down. Seasbull takes 33rd. Garrison moves up to 36th with that finish. 1 spot ahead of Veldeman. 1 second ahead of Veldeman. Easter, 41st. We're completely out of everything. Seasbull, 8th. Nobody in the mountains. Nobody really in contention for the under 25s. But as a team, 8th overall. Considering we are a continental team, considering we are built as a sprint team, that's not as bad as it certainly could have been. Trek, BMC, EF Education first. So, excuse me, the World Tour team's obviously coming out and dominating. From there, we've got Hagens, Berman, Axion, Jelly Belly, Rally Cycling. Jelly Belly, they're up there because of our future team member for them and his high finish. The bigger Continental Pro teams are there, and then we're kind of just out the back. But, I mean, looking at how far down these teams all are, that's not bad. Not bad. I mean, like, CCB is a Pro Continental. Right on the edge. There's UHC, which was Pro Continental, but I think they're just Continental this year. Okay, so as we wrap up the tour of Utah, it's only 4 days till the Colorado Classic. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward full days, and then we'll check in on the updates before we start the race. Okay, so as we mentioned last time, as we passed through live, we saw Miguel Angel Lopez going to Movistar. We've got Vincenzo Nibali going to Lado Sudal. Arnaud Demar staying with Groupama FDJ. Jasper Stuyven staying with Lado Sudal. Marc Soler staying with Movistar. Dumoulin staying with Sunweb. Holoesco is losing some money. Campenerts going to BMC. Mikel Landa going to Trek Segafredo. Jakobsen, Geraint Thomas going to Quick-Step, making them even stronger. Already 5 stars. Thibaut Pinot staying with Groupama FDJ. Idle Concept losing money. Caja Rural struggling right now. Mitchelton Scott get Dan Martin. Oliver Nassen. AG2R, Rumpa, their budget's going to go up. Bahrain Marida, get Elia Viviani. Lotto Sudal, getting Rowan Dennis. I think he's had a new team every season, right? Dylan Grunewagen, staying with Lotto NL Jumbo. So let's get an update on how things are looking now. Quick Step, 5 stars. looking to be the dominant team next season. Lotto Sudal, Team Sky, Movistar still up there. Mitchelton Scott, BMC, and Sunweb all at 4.5 stars. Into that next group, 4-star guys, 4 stars, 4 stars. Going through Bahrain Merida now. We dropped to 3.5 with Astana, UAE, Cofidis on their way up to the World Tour, at least at the moment. Monti Group Gobert, so they're still right on that edge. Last 3.5 star team is Endroni Giacottoli. And these top 2 are Continental Pros. Then we drop into the 3-star realm. Dimension Data, now up to 3 stars. I think they were looking at 2.5, weren't they? Maybe not. Israel Cycling Academy, kind of the last one fitting in. That's a new team around the world. 3 stars, so 29th on down. So from 30th, we drop to 2.5 stars, the realm that I'm in. CCC, Vlaanderen. We are still 32nd right now. So a couple weeks into the signing period, we are still 32nd. Looking like we've got a decent chance of getting that Continental Pro status. We'll see. I don't think there's going to be any budget change. I think it's just what races we're involved in, really. Two and a half stars runs all the way through 45th right now, but I'm well ahead. I'm near the top of that group. 2 stars on down are Continental. Remember, I missed out by, what, 2 spots, 3 spots last season? I think I was 48th, 49th, something like that this season. So for now, we're still up there. On to team standings. It is Team Sky on top over Sunweb. Quick Step, only 4th, surprisingly. They were really good this year as well. Continental, I am 3rd in the Continental standings. It's Cofidis and Wanty Group Gobert that are the dominant teams. But I'm still doing an excellent job despite only being a Continental team. The next highest Continental team, Japanese team, all the way down in 10th place. That's pretty good for them. A Chinese team has jumped to 14th just this month, so they must have picked up a major victory. But on the Super Prestige things, it does balance out a little bit more. The 18 teams in the World Tour are the 18 teams here. It is EF Education First at the bottom. But after their performance, Uran winning the Tour of Utah, they just jumped ahead of Cofidis. And we are 28th overall. 28th overall. And again, highest placed Continental team. Well above many Continental Pro teams. But that's 858 points. Which really isn't that high. It's not that high. But it's a huge jump. It's 85 points for the game Decathlon. It's a big jump from where I was last year. We've still got a little over a month left to race. Like I said, the Colorado Classic, 4 stages, and then a handful of classics to finish off the season. So we're under 10 stages to go. We're going to squeeze that in, I think, to 1 episode, or we'll have a second episode that will overlap into next season. But I think I'll skip a few of those races. We'll kind of speed through Colorado Classic and the rest. But again, we'll be keeping a close eye on where we're at in those rankings as we move into September, and especially the Pro Continental teams start signing their riders, getting the leftovers that the pro teams don't swoop up. So, Quick Step Flores is leading that battle in victories on the season, which would be expected, but they're not dominant the way they would expect to be. Team Sky just 1 behind them, and I'm guessing a lot more of those are mountaintop finishes, Grand Tour victories, stages, and overall race That's putting them at the top. Or Hansgrohe, Sunweb, BMC. But I'm 6th. I've got 29 victories this season. That is phenomenal. But most of those are Continental races. So we are dominating Continental. Competitive at Continental Pro. Obviously, I have not been involved in anything higher than that. Next season, we'll see. As a Continental Pro team, what I can do. Maybe I can squeeze my way into some sort of World Tour race. Probably not. I don't know if we're going to have a high enough profile for that, but we're definitely on our way up. That's going to do it for this episode, and almost for this season. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.